What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? It is your boy, Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first-round pick with the Kansas City Royals. And, man, we got a special guest, special day today, all right? It's very few times we get some current professional ball players. I'm always on the college scene and bringing on these college coaches. But I just thought it'll be great you had the agent come on, Lonnie, come on last week, and we had a lot of love coming from her and the knowledge that she was spitting. And I just felt like I'm gonna talk about Tina on here online a little bit, and I see some of the stuff that she was posting, and I dug a little deeper and find out that she had a son who was a high round pick, and I was just like, yo, I gotta get my man on the show and see what's going on from the pro side. And then she was like, said his name, and then I'm like, oh gosh, I'm like, yo, his name just says it alone, you know what I'm saying? From the great poet from Queensbridge, New York, Nasir Jones, he's named, and I'm gonna say named after that, but I'm gonna say he is. All right. And so I gotta find out about this kid and learn a little bit about the backstory, about the whole family. And I thought it'd be a good way to, talk about playing during COVID professionally. Also getting drafted, the draft process. We talked about the agent side last week. I want to kind of hit it from the family side, like what to expect if you are one of these kids that is blessed out of high school or college to get drafted. What can you expect? So that's why I brought Tina on with me. So without further ado, I'm tired of talking. We have Tina and Nas Nunez, all right, straight out of ATL over here by way of New York. All right. So what's going on with y'all? What's going on?
Hey, how you going? What's up?
All right. We got it's a blessing, what I'm saying, to have y'all. I appreciate y'all taking out the time. I know my man Nas is over here getting the work in and preparing for a season that
we
hopefully happens, man. So, but anyway, I want to kind of take it back from the beginning. What I always do with my guests, I always have them start from the beginning. So, Nas, I want you to kind of tell your story. Then I want it from mom's side. But Nas, tell your story about, obviously where you're from, playing career to where you are now, man.
So the crazy thing was, like, when I was younger, I really didn't even like baseball. Like my first game in Georgia, I think I hit a home run. I hit a home run to start off, and then everybody was cheering for me, and I cried because everybody was cheering for me. I didn't like the attention. It was just something. And then it was the last game of the season. I think it was a championship game. I hopped in there.
And so he still owes me $144 registration fee.
So mom put you in something you ain't really like, and it ended up working out for you. All right.
Yeah,
does that sound about right?
Well, Dad.
All right. So I know Dad is. So Mom, I know Dad, can't be here today, but what made you want to put Nas into baseball, or Dad? Like, what were y'all thoughts when y'all was like, here he is, a youngster. Let's is it something that you just wanted to kind of have activity? Was Dad just a baseball nut? Like, how did it work? You know what I'm saying? How did Nas get on the field?
If it was up to me, we would have been in the garden crying about the Knicks. I'm a New York Knick fanatic. But Dad, his papa is from the Dominican Republic. So baseball is culture. Baseball is in the blood. He would have been doing layups and shooting free throws if it was up to me. But Dad was like, no, my son is playing baseball. So his son is playing baseball.
and it worked out, great. So Mom, real fast, let's go back. Where are you and your husband? Where y'all from?
Well, I'm from the greatest borough. I'm from Brooklyn. He's from the Bronx.
Yeah, BX in here. That's right. I'm BX here too. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So we BX too. But listen, so New York made the way to ATL. All right. Dad got that Dominican blood in him. Was like, yo, I'm gonna put my son out there and on the field. And it was just one of those where God just blessed you with the ability to hit right away. And it just took off with baseball right then and there. When did you was it that one home run, or when did you really started, understanding like, yo, I'm kind of nice at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, when was that happening for you, Nas?
Probably about freshman year. Because
is that when you knew? Like,
yeah.
So when I say I'm good at this, when you say your freshman year, what did that entail when you was like, yo, I'm kind of like, what did your thoughts go? Was it like, nice to be nice around Atlanta in high school, or that's when you started really thinking bigger and, bigger thoughts and big time, like, I think I got a chance to really do something with this?
It was crazy because going into my freshman year, it was two kids that everybody's like, oh, Conceal got these guys. Like, I don't know if you're going to play this and that. It was Julio Chavez and Will Holland. And it was just crazy because once I got there, I was like, oh, man, these dudes are big. They great. They good. They this and that. But I'm already knowing, like, I know I'm good, but I'm like, these dudes are, like, big. Like, so I watched them play, and I'm like, I could do that. I could do that, but I think I could do a little bit better than that, too. Will and Julio are nasty. Like, don't get me wrong, those are my boys. But when I put myself to something, I gotta get something done. I always gotta be better, like in a humble way. So I'm doing that. Like, that's me. I'm grabbing that.
And then so, I mean, it's one thing to say it. All right, it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to go out and do it on the field and do it consistently with the work behind it. So when that transition happened as a freshman, when you was like, yo, I know these dudes is nice, but I think I could, I think I got them. You know what I'm saying? So what did the work ethic change, or was it something where just because you felt whatever, what was that change that happened like on the field? Did you start working harder or anything like that? What happened?
It's really like with baseball, like I think baseball is a sport where it's work ethic is required, but it's not as much as basketball, football, and soccer, where it takes a little bit more athleticism to be like better than somebody. For me, it's more confidence and your mental aspect of baseball, because you're there, everybody got the talent in their own different ways, but it's really mentality. Like, you fail more than you're going to succeed in baseball. You can't be afraid to fail because you always fail. Like, you're always going to fail eventually in baseball. So it's like, why am I scared of doing something I've already done?
I love it. He said the physical part is there. He said what happened, the transition where he felt like whatever came from the mental side. And that's for us athletes, man. I say us, for y'all athletes, you know what I'm saying? You said what now?
That's the only thing you can control. Like, somebody's bigger and stronger than you, you can't control that. Like, you could go work out, but you still might not get as big and as strong as them. But your mentality, you could always have that hustle mentality. Keep it 100.
So now, all right, now you got the mentality like, yo, I think I could do something with this game. All right. So, Mom, you seen it now, your son. Now you don't been through the ranks. So you was doing the whole travel ball thing and everything. Mom, you had all the travel ball teams and traveling around and everything, right?
Yes.
So from a mom standpoint, all right, don't be saying like I knew my baby always had it, you know what I'm saying? But
I didn't. I was just. It was probably a blessing that I didn't know a lot about baseball. So, when he did something, I'm like, yeah, get that free throw. I'm still in basketball mode. I had no clue what was going on with baseball. So I just was there because I loved him. And I fell in love with the game, seeing the person that I love the most love the game. So I had to humble myself and actually listen to my husband for a change. Learn the game, learn everything about it. And I really didn't realize how good he was until I saw how other people reacted to him. Mom, I was just happy he was there. I'm going to clap. I'm going to buy you the Nikes. Me and Dad drive all over the place. Didn't understand that he was special until I started to notice how everyone else reacted to him.
All right. So let's talk about traveling all over the place. And you guys are blessed, to be in a great city where it's a lot of competition. I don't know if y'all know, like everybody else is trying to get here with the perfect game, the PBRs and all of that. But, I know you guys did your traveling and the money that was being spent and all of that. Do you feel like, Mom, that the stuff was, everything that the traveling, the perfect game, the rankings and all that was well worth it? Obviously him being a second round pick, but I'm saying for like a parent that's outside looking in, what would be your advice when it comes to, the travel ball industry as a whole? You know what I'm saying? As far as like where your son ended up, does a parent need to do the same steps you guys did, or what would be the change now that you experienced it?
Well, everyone's journey is different. So I really believe that, especially because we're underrepresented as Black people in the industry, I'm an avid believer in just giving and being transparent. And when people ask, I talk. And my husband will tell you I talk too much. But we're still in the travel ball industry because he has a little brother. And I tell parents all the time to first and foremost have fun, because when I look at him, I still see my baby, but he's a 20-year-old man now, and it goes by really, really quickly. My thing is, he played for JoJo Batten, Mike McCray, Tim Battle, those guys, and he was 14 years old. I wanted my son, and I keep saying I, but my husband also, he's just not here. I wanted my son to have mentors and people in his life that walk that journey and that look like him, because our children need that representation. And I really, really believe that you want to find a travel organization that cares about the development of your son. So I won't even name them, people in the industry, the big organizations, and they come and they tell you all of these things. And if you're really young, like his little brother's 14, that's not where I would have my son at 14 years old, and below that. They're still trying to develop. Those type of organizations are not really into developing your kid. They're there and they're there to market their brand. They're there to get money. It's a different type of thing. So we wanted someone that we consider family. JoJo and Team 360 Hawks, they were family. They are family. And I think parents need to, first and foremost, be realistic about the talent of your kid. Like I said, I didn't know. So I wasn't up there talking about my son is all of that, because I didn't know. I really didn't know. But
I mean to cut you. Say that again, please. So can you please say that again, please?
Be realistic about the talent of your kid. And I'm not saying that to deter anyone, but I'm saying it to, sometimes we have this parent psychology denial thing where your kid is, the best thing since sliced bread. And I will tell you, and he will tell you, that nothing but truth comes out of my mouth. I told him, baby, stick to baseball because your jump shot is whack.
It got better.
But mama gonna tell you. So I think, people have to be realistic about where little Malik is. And it's okay if you play rec and he just wants to be a rec player and he is having fun. The biggest thing I think out of travel ball that we got were memories. Just all the times we were together as a family, all the times we, were in that hotel room. And I took a picture not too long ago with him and his little brother in the back seat. And that might be the last picture I get with the two of them back there as, little boys going to the football game with mom and dad. Don't rush through the process, parents, and forget that moment. And let them enjoy themselves. Let them learn to love the game. Let them love the game through you also. Don't beat it out of them. Don't beat them over the head. Don't try to make them something they're not. Let them flourish. And I wrote something also about getting out of their way. When he started to switch it, I was scared because no one wants to see their son fail. No one wants to see their kid fail. And I'm like, Nas, you sure you want to do that? You going to, I think, Junior Nationals, his first big showcase.
Second week I started switching.
Second week he started switch hitting. And I'm like, dude, don't, in my mind, don't do it. You're going to look crazy.
I did crazy.
You did look crazy.
I look very crazy.
that took hard to do that. I mean, we could talk about it, but I'm glad you brought that up because I'm gonna talk about when we talk this baseball stuff. But Mom, keep going, please.
No, and I had to get out of his way. I had to let him realize who he was and who he was becoming and not impede his growth. So I think parents need to do that as well. Be a support system to your kid, not a drill sergeant. Be the person that when they have a bad game, hey, you want to go get some ice cream, not beat them over the head. It's balance. I think that's what we've always tried to teach him and his brother. There's balance in life. And you have a passion for baseball, but you also have a passion for your family. You have a passion for community. So it's just, again, balance. And those rankings, the first time around, I was like, yeah, my son is number 17. You get caught up in it.
Right.
It's really about who sees him, not perfect game per se. I think perfect game gives the platform with the tournaments, and it's like a one-stop shop from what we've, discussed with a lot of scouts, where they get more bang for their buck. They can go there and they can see more kids at the tournaments. The showcases, you can, my husband and I say use it as a gauge. So with our 14-year-old, he hasn't even done a showcase yet. And especially, so we're like, okay, we'll let you do one because we want to give you a similar experience to your brother and just kind of see where you fall in that. That's not the end all be all. That doesn't mean your kid is trash or your kid is the greatest thing since sliced bread. You kind of use it as a gauge and then you figure out a plan. So when he was going into his freshman year, he wasn't even in high school yet. Remember?
My first showcase wasn't till junior year.
Yeah. Well, when we
big showcase.
We let
in
him
high school, junior year in high school. Wow. So all these moms and parents that's chasing and running to get to these showcases to get on whatever, here you are, and we ain't even talk about where you got drafted, but you're a professional ball player right now, got drafted extremely high, and you ain't even go to a high level showcase until your junior year, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay. So parents, I hope that I'm just saying, y'all, she's spending $1 million worth of game right now to y'all, and that's why I want her to keep going. But
it's hard too. Like if you do showcases at such a young age and they have their eye on you, it's like it could go both ways. It could go good if you're a hard-working player and they see the development on your side. But if you're not, like realistically, they're just gonna see you being the same or even getting worse because they're watching you so much. So it's like I pop out the blue and they're like, "Who's this?" And then it just development kept going because of work ethic.
All right. So now let's go from the college side. All right. We you go to the showcase of junior year. So what's going on college wise during this whole during this transformation of Nas? Like, yo, I'm nice. I'm getting I'm not going into my showcase until junior year. How was the college recruiting situation? How was that going? When did it start? When you start getting letters and all of that?
My college experience is way different from other top prospects experiences. Like it was I really wasn't even, I didn't know what college was. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I knew what college was, but I didn't know like baseball was so big in college. I didn't like going into my freshman year, everybody was talking about Will was committed to Kentucky. We had an Ole Miss commit, a UGA commit, a Wofford commit. I was like, what's the commit? But now it's like everybody at this, like all the young kids, they talk about this. They know what commitment is. So honestly, for me, my biggest thing was MLB, be on TV, get to the show. So once colleges started coming at me freshman year, I said, let me get this out the way. So I committed early. I was like, I don't need nothing else because that's gonna distract me. My goal was bigger than college. So honestly, I felt like that kind of distracted me, and then I felt like Coach Lee was the right environment for me to be in. Clemson, especially for college, doing schoolwork and baseball, and having to take care of yourself. And that's the first time you're leaving. So I was like, let me get this out the way.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm over here getting goosebumps over here. I'm over here trying to snap my fingers because I got a little athlete over there that I'm trying to have her. I don't have no boys playing baseball, but that's the mindset that I want her to have when it comes to this whole thing. Because my man said he didn't understand commitment. He didn't understand that he had dreams and aspirations of pro first, and he said, "Let me cross my T's and dot my I's and get the college thing squared away, and let me go ahead and make this happen." Pro side, I just you give me goosebumps, man. When I hear top level athletes talk, it's just a different mindset and feel. You talking like how and I don't want to say whatever. This is your thing, your show, your time right now. But most athletes think that way, and it's like, yo, forget, college is great. I know most athletes don't think like that, but I love your mindset. So parents, I hope y'all hearing. I'm just saying, the difference between guys that getting that check, what I'm saying, out of high school or college, at a very high level, then just worry about the small. Again, everybody don't think like that, but just understand
it's a whole different story. Because even with when I went to junior nationals, I honestly didn't know why I was going to that. I swear I didn't know why I was going. I was like, what is this gonna do for me? I don't know. Because I thought the tournaments I was playing in, it was just like, okay, I'm gonna just play. I'm playing baseball. Like, I'm playing. the commitment thing, the Clemson commit, that stuck with me. Like as I started playing travel ball, when I started playing up, because kids would be like, "Oh, why are you committed to Clemson?" And I would go up and hit and be like, "That's why." Or I would go on field and be like, "That's why." Like stuff like that. It was never like I committed at a young age just because of my name. I didn't really have a name until junior year summer.
What happened actually, and I say it, to people that talk about high school ball, now that it has happened, I understand why the universe moved us to Georgia, because for me, I was never leaving Brooklyn, but it was bigger than me, and we came here. And was it freshman year? Or I think it was freshman year. There were 2 kids on his team. Ian. Well, actually, it was Ian on the team, and they played. But Ian
it wasn't that. That was my sophomore.
That was sophomore year. So he played Drew Waters, and all the scouts were there to see Drew Waters and Ian, and they just started saying, "Who's that kid over there?"
That was when I went off that game.
Yeah, he was hustling. He was working hard. He was playing, which he does all the time.
But I got noticed.
But he got noticed. Just high school, he got noticed. And that night is when I think your coach called and said
it was Ian.
It was Ian.
Ian, the Padres, Chip Lawrence. Lawrence was the first scout that reached out to me, and he reached out to me through Ian. Chip was like, "Give this number to your teammate." So Ian texted me saying, "Chip wants you to call him."
Yeah, so it was just,
and that's how I got into Breakthrough Series.
Yes. Thank you for that, Chip. I always tell you thank you for that. One of the best experiences.
Can't do it now.
But, it's about taking that opportunity that someone else has, and as much as you possibly can, capitalize on it. And we weren't even thinking about it at that point, but, when they say you never know who's watching, you never know who's there. The parents are getting scouted and recruited just as much as the kids are. So he's lucky because sometimes, I can go a little crazy, but I'm.
You was on good behavior that day, right, Mom? You was on good behavior that day? That's what you're saying?
Yes, I was behaving. So I think, they start saying, "Hey, Clemson is interested in you. Hey, at Vandy, we went to FSU. Florida State,
I only visited, 2 schools?
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 schools. And I was like, I can't take this anymore.
We did Alabama, and I think.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. That was an official.
Yeah.
Well, when did you commit? When did you let me get this out the way? When was that?
Year.
Your what?
Sophomore year.
Okay. So, man, so many numbers. My man just said, one, he wasn't really understanding this commitment thing, and where everybody was talking about Kentucky. What is that, right? Yeah. But he just goes about his business is just playing. All he doing is sizing up competition.
Clemson was going to give me money personally. When they were talking about percentages, I thought it was like my money.
He's always been a little money hungry.
Hey, that's why you got that bread. That's why you got that bread now, right? So my thing is this though, parents. So and I promise you, I don't know the percentages, right? But I would love to say, because he's talking about on the pro side where Chip was out there scouting other kids. And he saw Nas out there, but it goes from the recruiting side of college too. Parents, I want you to understand this. Like, I would say at least 70-80% of the players and people that I talk to, including more, yours truly, all right? They always looking at somebody else, all right? And then you go out there and do your thing and bust out there on the field is where it gives you the attention that you want. You ain't got to go, and that's what, sometimes with this travel ball, you think you got to go chase and chase the coaches and all of that, and I got to chase the organization. No, you go play against that organization with all these so-called names and busts. And that's how you get put on the scene. It's not about playing with them. It's about busting all right? And that's what he's telling you he just did. He went out there, tore it up that day, boom, all right, against the so-called great players, all right? And now he's on the map, all right? Within a year, he's getting commits by getting offers from big time, programs, man. So
when we was playing JoJo, my teammates would always we were facing Kumar Rocker that day. And of course everybody know who Kumar was. And they were all like, "Oh, I don't feel like playing. I don't want to face him." I was like, it's just a fastball. Just hit it. And they were all scared. You can't be scared. That's where, and there was a whole bunch of scouts at that game. Ethan was on Parker Meadows. So everybody on my team was scared. I was like, bro, it's the same game. Play. You gotta stand out. If you don't stand out, nobody's gonna notice you.
Oh gosh, Lord have mercy. This is why I do this, man. This is I just again I it's just a different level of athlete sometimes. I'm not saying, you can't develop this or anything like that, man. But I brought your boy Highland Hall. I know you know him because his mom's has been on here. You know how, right?
Hey,
Mila. So I brought him on last year, and we was talking, and again, just that level of athlete. You just get a mindset. You just understand who he is, and so when I'm talking to you, I'm getting that vibe of like, it's only right where he is right now. Just talking again. This is not professional Miami Marlins second round pick. This is 14, 15-year-old kid that's out there like, he throwing that thing, and what? He got to throw the ball across the plate. Let me go put a good swing on it and see what happens. Let me go out there and compete. It ain't all he throw. He sold this and that. It's just a different level of athlete. It's a different mindset who ends up at these places that they're at. And that's why, again, it's not to, scare no parents away. It's just to inform, like, this is the type of athlete. You know what I'm saying? I have one in the background listening right now. I'm like, wake up. You know what I'm saying? Understand. You know what I'm saying? This is what we talk about. You know what I mean? So anyway, so now you committing, and now you go to your big first showcase as a commitment, a Clemson commit, your junior year. So I know a lot of attention on you now. You doing your thing. So how does that Chip kind of hollered at you as a sophomore, but when did that shift started really taking place? You know what I'm saying? Where that pro, like you started hearing like, I got a pro opportunity and stuff like that. When did that shift and when did that talk started happening, Nas?
Not until my year going into the summer going into my senior year. So literally the year before my draft.
All right. So now it's that pro talk. So Mom, I always love to get that question from, Mom's point of view, right? Because it's, Nas is a big deal now. He's in the perfect games and he's the big time Division I commit. And now the scouts is kind of, flocking to him now. So that summer leading in was, this is when I guess you need that mentoring, that understanding of what's going on. And what was that plan going into that senior year? Like, how was it,
It was overwhelming.
It was fall. It was last year Jupiter Breakthrough Series. That's when it really started. That's when it really hit.
But that's right before. So, with the professional side of it, it's like, they're doing their scouting for that year. As soon as that year is over, they're on to the next one. So you're not really knowing, and you don't know until the day anyway, but you're not really knowing what's about to happen per se with the whole pro side of it until your draft year is there. So I think it started with maybe the home visits. That's when it got really overwhelming. And that's where it was like, man, now I got to clean up. Now I got to have water. Now
overwhelming was the agent meeting.
The agent meeting.
That's what I'm saying. I want you to just say, like that's all I want to talk about right there is that it's the in-house visits from the scouts. And now it sounds like, right about that time, the agent started hollering at you, right?
Started coming to school, asking teachers about me, just showing up in my lunchroom, like having me take tests downstairs during lunch. I'm like, bro, I'm hungry. Can I eat? Like, geez, I gotta go work out right after. I'm trying to eat. You trying to talk about some tests? Like, you can't wait till I go home. You coming over in 3 hours?
So they were making you work out at the school and then coming over to the house later on.
My period class was weight training. So they would, and my lunch was fifth. So they would come during fifth period, make me miss my lunch, eat, go to weight training, then go to practice or a game. I'm like, let me get
yeah. I know, so parents looking at it like, well, but again,
as a player, you're like, this is like, it gets overwhelming because like I'm still a regular high school student, but not regular at the same time. So it's like you gotta find that balance point, and then your friends are sitting at the lunchroom talking about, here they come again. You leaving again? Like, we having a whole roast session at the lunch table, and then you get up and gotta go. And they're like, there go Nas. Like, yeah, I'll be back. Oh, man.
I love that, man. So Was that your plan when? I mean, because now, like I said, this is what I want to talk about, man. Because not everybody's going to experience this, but there's going to be a few, and that's going to experience this. So, and Mom, I'm going to get to you too from your side. But was that your goal? Was to just be like, listen, I know a lot of attention, especially coming back. Sounds like from Jupiter. It was like, yo, I was it your goal to just be like, yo, I need to make sure that I kind of enjoy my senior year and try to still be as normal as possible? Was that your goal, Nas, at that time? Or you didn't think that deep into it? You was just like, yo, I know I'm getting up out of here in about a few months. I'm trying to get this,
My whole mentality changed once Jupiter hit, and that whole, like, I had to carry myself differently, I felt, because it was like at school, everybody knew what was going on. And my school, they didn't really show me a lot of love, like, because I guess it was a baseball aspect, but I had like a whole bunch of accolades coming in, and then I would tell my teachers, and they'd be like, yeah, this. And it was just like, everybody knew, but nobody wanted to really believe it, I guess I would say. It was like, it was weird. So I would always hold myself at like, don't do this. You can't mess up. You can't do this. Like, you're right there at the break. You're at the brim. Like, I was always just like, I'm going to go to class. I'm going to talk to my friends. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to go play baseball. Like, that's it. It was no partying, no nothing, but usually like, come home, talk, eat, sleep. I didn't try that much.
Right, he's still gonna be whatever, but I love it though. You was like, yo, I see it, I see it.
Like,
I
ain't nothing. If you hand it to me, I can't let it go. Like, I gotta go get it. That was that was after fall, so after Christmas break. But before that, I was having fun.
No doubt, man. But it worked out, man. But like, so Mom, now you every day you scouting, so from a mom's point of view, I know you like, girls, random people latching on, family, starting to see, how is that protecting, this environment that's being created by your son's talent? Like, how tough was it? Was it easy? You already said it was exhausting a little bit. So kind of describe that feeling between the agents and the scouts and, protecting him from, obviously he had the mindset of like, yo, I'm trying to get it, but there still has to be some type of worry from a mom's, you know what I'm saying? Because this is, a stressing time picking the right, agent, and these teams are telling you this and that and wondering, where he's at and he's doing the right thing, ain't getting in no trouble and stuff like that. So how was it from a mom's point of view during that time frame?
It was overwhelming. We're blessed that we're a tight family unit. Dad knows about baseball. So we basically delegated. We split it up. Like, hey, Meg's about ball. He's been watching it. He's a stat guy. He's a, player guy. So he a little more so took the lead with regard to the agents. And we knew that we wanted to make certain we found the right one. So Nasim had to go to every meeting we had because, the biggest thing you have to remember is they work for you. It's not the other way around. They work for you, and they have to present you with a plan of action of how they're going to assist your son to getting to the next level. So even his little brother, we wanted him to go, and we had to promise him ice cream or whatever the case was, because you need to hear these jewels too. And it was just a process of, as a parent, you want to make certain that you're doing the best you can for them, and you don't want something to happen where you feel like it's like almost your fault and you made a wrong decision that can hinder him from getting to where he wants to be. So I tell a lot of, the moms, we're in a Black baseball mom group because, again, we're underrepresented. And I didn't have anyone to talk to. Miguel and I, it was just us. We bounce things off of each other. We talk to one another. So, I really try to share and let people know that I am here as a support system, because it's really difficult. And there's some things that you just can't control. And sometimes as a mom, you're so used to running your household. You're so used to, doing for the children, and mom is super mom. And that aspect of the draft, you have no control of. So what you do control is picking his agent, finding his financial advisor, dropping jewels on him. He would get tired of it, but as he got older, we would have a lecture a lecture, me, him, and his dad after the game, but just talking about life, not even about the game, about life. So with the financial advisor, because I'm a broker, I'm a registered stockbroker, okay. I was able to, converse with them, and I knew the jargon a little better, and they knew they wasn't going to come in and stick it for his paper, because mom is going to watch it. So we're blessed to have a really good balance. But for those who don't necessarily have that, ask questions. Find parents like Miguel and I who are willing to talk to you and just ask questions. Nothing's dumb. This is your kid. Everything you are doing is for the benefit of your child. And I think that when you put that out there into the universe, it will align and you'll reap the benefits of that. So it's just being very transparent. If I didn't know, like, dude, I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. You're not going to, make me look stupid.
So now, all right. So, okay. So can I be nosy and ask who'd you pick for an agent?
Ballingy.
Who's that?
It's the name of the agency.
So the agent, group. So the way it went down, that we all kind of, I guess, meshed with them because we met with a lot. We were leaning toward. I like Lindor's agent just because everybody says he's, Lindor 2.0, but he needed his own. So we met with a lot of different people. But the way they approached us, Scott Barber,
Elvin and Henri.
It was three of them, and they came and they just kicked it to us. Elvin is another New Yorker. He's in his, early 20s. He can align with Nas, and he's a ball player. He just left. He just left, so that's who he'll kick it with. Henri is my and Miguel age. He went to Clemson, so there. And then
I know, Henri, my dude. Yeah, Henri Stanley. Yeah, that's my dude.
That's his agent, Henri Stanley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, it was just, we all meshed together, and everyone that presented something was able to, I guess, align with a certain person in the family where we just felt it was the complete package.
It was there for something for everything.
Yeah, yeah. So it just has to feel good. And Nasim is very,
I get vibes.
He gets vibes and feels people's aura and spirit. And if it doesn't sit well with him, even though he's a child, at that time he was a child, I'm not going to undermine how he feels because essentially, like I said, I don't know how to, feel the ground ball. This is his life. And he has to be comfortable talking to those agents. Come down and Dad's coming in now. They come down.
Yeah, I was about to say he's been online. I know he's watching on the other page and stuff. So tell him to join.
He has to feel comfortable.
You hear me?
Yeah. Here's
what's up, family?
What's going on?
So
good, man. I saw you on the other side, man. But I'm glad to have the whole family there. But keep going.
All right. Put the X up.
That's right. Cedric in the house. Cedric right here. So listen. So Dad, now that you joined us, man, we kind of right at that point where you guys are picking agents right now. You chose Henri, good people, man. I just didn't know his company, but I know Henri, good people. I'm knowing them way back. We go back to high school tournaments together. But now you got the agent and advisor on board. So what kind of pressure, if you felt it or not, you know what I'm saying? Because I know going into your senior year, everybody's like, yo, you getting that attention. I want to know, like, how did you feel? I'm gonna go back to Nas on this. So how did you feel about going out there playing, knowing that, yo, I got a lot of attention over here? Did you know where people was kind of having you slated and talking to you about potentially where you may be able to go? Did you know, was you practicing your signature and thinking about the car and all,
My signature since ninth grade. I really was. Well, yeah, I'll tell you how I'll be doing my signature on the back of my homework.
Yeah.
But
right. Hey, I love it. But so, all right, so you already got the signature down. All right, so let me ask you this: from as far as training at all seasons and going into that high school senior season, was there any more added pressure? Did you feel like, I got to do more, anything like that? Or was it just like, yo, let me just go? Is that part of just crossing the T's and dotting the I's? Let me go just finish out this last year, do what I've been doing. How was your mindset going into your senior year? Playing.
For me, it was really just do the same thing you've been doing. because like it's been working, and I didn't. As a high schooler, I didn't know much more I could do. Like I didn't really have trainers growing up. I didn't go out my way and lift and do all that extra stuff. I would really just do like stuff that helped me better my game, like throw a baseball at the wall, catch it, go play catch outside
throw the
with
ball
JJ.
up my stairs and break my stairs.
Like I didn't like that was one thing. Like I didn't have like that training that I see like kids having now. I didn't have that.
Time out. Okay, so you didn't have the private instructors and going every week to whatever. You didn't have a personal strength and training coach training you. You didn't have to have a full team practice to get some work in. And
I did do that. JoJo and Coach Jason made sure we had them team practices.
I missed it. It kind of stuck on my side. Say what you just said. It stuck on my side. I didn't hear what you said. Say that again.
I said that was one thing we did have, just a lot of team practices, like learning teammates, chemistry, working with JoJo and them. That was my practice for me. That's how I bettered myself, working with JoJo and Jason.
A lot of the times it was like, we go and we see what other guys were doing, and because I can work with the kids, I would take Nas. It was always like, he was like, Dad, can I go hit? Or Dad, can we go field? And it's no problem, So I always took that extra time to take them out and make sure they got their reps, and they wanted to do it. It wasn't like I was forcing them or things like that. And that's one of the things that separates, and I always applauded my kids for. And I see other parents doing the same, but you have to put that extra time in outside of just going to practice or playing the game. And that's a big key.
Like switch hitting, when I started hitting lefty, I didn't have a trainer. Like I really didn't. Like
let's talk about that. So what in your mind, because obviously you're doing your thing. So when did you like really was like, let me try to switch hitting thing? Like when did that come about in your brain and why?
So my freshman year, I batted like 480. It was something high, something crazy. And then my sophomore year, it wasn't that. I couldn't hit the slider because they already knew me. So I was like, I can't see that pitch. So after that year, going into my junior year, I was like, let me make an adjustment because I'm not gonna hit that slider coming. Like I'm gonna get out the way. Like I'm not gonna hit that. And it's cold in Georgia, and we're starting off. I'm like, I'm not gonna hit, so I'm gonna get out the way. So I was like, man, I switch it. Like just playing. I was like, let me switch it. And I told JoJo, and he's like, why are you playing? Like, do it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what you mean, do it?
That's the type of coach you need also.
I was like, what you mean, do it?
I'm about to say. So, like, most coaches be like, nah, I need you to hit. I need you to hit. Like
that, too. When I went into my junior year, he was like, are you for real been switching? I was like, yeah. Like, I've been doing it. He was like, and it was still ugly. Like, it was nowhere nearly, like, as good as it is now. But it was work. And I didn't care how I looked. I was like, what you going to tell me? I suck? I'm going to Clemson. Like, I was like, what you gonna say? I suck? Like I wasn't scared of failing. Like I said.
I hope y'all hearing this, man. I just I mean, regardless of the reason, scared, can't hit the slide or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, I'm gonna go. I ain't having success doing it this way. Let me go ahead and switch. And I promise you, dudes like you, I remember I played with Beltron. I came up with Beltron, and I remember he didn't learn how. He just went out there at 19. They was like, we're gonna need you to switch it if you're gonna make it to the next level. We're gonna need at 19. He never did it before. Just gifted dudes, just gifted at doing that. You know what I'm saying? So here you are taking it upon yourself. And again, it's self-evaluation, which is key, which most high-level athletes, or all athletes have it, but mainly high level, they take self-evaluation. Like, he's like, I had a tough sophomore year. You know what I'm saying? Like I did my thing my freshman year, my sophomore year. How can I change? It ain't like all these coaches in his ear saying that. He took it upon himself. All right, no private instructors and all that. It's like, I need to get better. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and switch over to the left side, and I'm gonna earn my little lumps, but it don't feel that bad. Let me get this work in. All right, you know what I'm saying? What did you say earlier? You went and did it at your first big time showcase. You went out there. Mons was like, stay on the right side. You was like, let me go ahead and switch it. You did it right in front of everybody, right?
nobody knew who I was, so they were really looking at me on my left side like, yo, this kid sucks. Like, he's garbage. Like, and I heard them. Like, I heard they'd be like, who is this? And then I would field it first, and then everybody was like amazed, like from the fielding. And then I would hit, and they'd be like, yo, what's this? Like, who is this?
And that's where I said that I was fearful because I didn't want the, negative him to hear that, and I didn't want them to look at him a certain way. But I had to, like I said, get out of his way so he could flourish. And
my mentality was like, you don't know me, you didn't know me then, you don't know me now. So what I care for, what you think about me. And you gonna know me later. Yep. Like, you gonna know me later, what you do. So it's like.
So when did that really, the game, I mean, obviously we're going back now to your senior year. Obviously, you ain't look that damn bad. You know what I'm saying? Because people still want you. You know what I'm saying? So what, from a personal standpoint, when did you kind of really start feeling good with that switch hitting? Like you started feeling good on that left side?
Yeah. Just like, yeah. Like, it's still hard. Like, big thing that's holding me is I've been working with AP, JoJo, and my hitting coach from Miami. Like, they've really been helping me a lot with it, just continuing reps and like not change me, but because I'm an athletic hitter, like I like to just hit the ball. Like I don't like my approach is looking for certain pitches, but I'm not one of those mechanical guys. Like I'm gonna hit it however I can hit it, and then I'm gonna run. Like I'm gonna do whatever I can, and they're trying to help me build on that because like I don't understand how people add so much mechanics and get so like statistical with hitting. Just hit the ball. Like it's a sport. It's a game.
That's a long stretch because I remember when people were watching to see him hit from his natural side, and he,
I be hitting it.
It never happened. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's always on the left side.
He's always on the left side. And
so people would be like, "You could hit." I'd be like, "I know." Like I'm working. Like
so. This is only year 3 he's going into. Mm-hmm. He's going into year 3 switch hitting. Yeah.
Listen, man. Again, many nuggets being said by my man right here. He's saying like, yo, I don't care if I struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I know what I could do on the right side. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get this right. You saying this? I don't care. I know what I'm capable of doing. All right. And he's going out there and is doing it and is getting better at it. 3 years into this. All right. So now you go and you ball out, as good as bad or whatever, you're lefty looking, and obviously he's doing all right. So enough that when it comes down to now is draft time, okay? Like literally, leading up to that, what was you hearing? What was it? What was in the, the call? Was it first round? Was it second? What was being told? Or you had no idea?
It was a lot. I had to stop. I stopped reading. I stopped talking to my teammates about it. Like one time, I ain't even gonna say his name, but one time I talked to my teammate about it was like the Norcross game, and there was like 20 scouts there. Like as I'm walking down, I was with my girl in high school. I was walking down with her, and I just looked. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta like go that way. I was like, you gotta go that way. Like it's a training room, and I walked down. And they were like, hey, nah. And I'm looking. I'm like, yo, that's a lot of scouts. Like, that's the most I've ever seen, like, at a high school game.
You want to tell them about failure? Hey, tell them about that time you made 3 errors in one game.
Yeah. Peachtree Ridge.
Oh.
How your parents know you? Mom and dad can tell you the time, the date, the location. And you like, what?
Shout them out.
Yeah, but they came from me online too. Like it blew up. Like
that never happened ever in the history.
Like he made more errors in that one game than he's ever had in his life.
And it was mad scouts.
The MLB.
Was it one of those days, or did you feel like he was playing for them, or what?
Oh, ESPN was there, huh? Yeah.
Was it just one of those days that like yo, you was kind of trying to play up to them, or it was just a bad day?
When I see scouts, I don't pay attention to them. I really don't. Like I'll see them sitting there staring at me. I'll keep walking. Like I'm on the field. When I'm off the field, we could talk. But
Dad, what you thought it was about that day? What was your thoughts on that day?
That was our rivals
I
too.
know what it was about.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm about to say. Like I already know. I want to hit pops on that. So what was your thoughts on that day right there? When he had the 3 errors.
Me?
No, I want to know you Pops. I want to know what were your thoughts on it?
What was it, Bert?
Nah, I think he was in his bag. So, you know, it was a lot of action going on, a lot of big names. You know, the cameras was there, MLB Network was there. So, you know,
You tell him I didn't even know that.
The moment got away. That's my interpretation.
I didn't even know that.
When I walked up, I said he looked like he posing over there with his back, like, you know.
I was not doing that. I don't recall that.
I said, who he posing for?
He was getting Hollywood. Dad, he was getting Hollywood on you. He was getting Hollywood. That's what it was.
I don't recall that. I don't remember that. I knew there were cameras there, but I didn't know it was like big. Yeah. That was just a bad game.
That was my interpretation, though.
All right. So we got a question
on the other team. I think it was just in my head.
Okay. I like to hear all aspects. I heard I want to, because I know Dad had his own. You know, Mom and Dad always got their own interpretation. Like, you know,
it was that one game.
Lesson for the parents, though. That was a great experience because they finally got to see him kind of fail. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And even after that happened, it's like, you know, everybody knows his accolades. Everybody knows he could hit. Everybody knows he could fill. Everybody knows he could run. Everybody knows he could throw. We want to see how he reacts to the situation. You know, with everybody looking. You know what I'm saying? And that was and he held it down.
That's so true, man. You hear that all the time, especially from the college side of things. You know, they always say like, yo, we want to see, because, you know, the highlight reels and all of that's always the good stuff. They want to see when you fail. Like, yo, you strike out a couple times, or you have 3 errors. How you going to go about your business? You going to throw the helmet? You going to look down, or you going to mope? But the fact that you don't even remember the damn game, that kind of.
When he said 3 errors, I didn't even know what he's talking about. But now I remember because the kid called me out on Twitter.
That's right.
And he's called you trash.
He called me out on Twitter, and it blew up. Yeah,
that's that new way.
I think I did say something, but it was my teammate. It was Miles. Miles Wilkins was getting me.
So that was the big
teammate called you, bro?
I hit a triple off of him, and I didn't even know that was him. I was like, bro, I hit a triple off you. I didn't even know your name. Like,
no, I'm talking about. You said your teammate.
Yeah.
Your teammate came to the defense.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, he came to the defense. Oh. I thought you said your teammate.
You know, he had banned me.
I had a target on my back.
He had banned me going online because I'm like, I'm ready to cut everybody that's talking about my kid. You know, another thing you have to understand, they are our children, they're our babies. But to the industry, whether it's pro or whether it's college, they're a commodity. They're you know, they're a part of my team. They don't have that personal connection, obviously, that we do. So even the fans, they're out there. The key word when we laugh, diminutive. Everything was about how small he is. This dude needs to eat a sandwich. He's too little.
Yeah, the comments were rude.
The comments were crazy. So now
somebody told me I was worse than the light up Yeezys. Like that, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
So the parent defense, you know, that's hard.
No, but I see. I mean, I don't even get on again. I'm the old guy, right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to deal with on that side at a 15, 16, 17. So as a family, is that something like where you have to like really stop looking at that stuff? Because you like the good part, but then because it comes with it
all the time. But
it depends on your personality. Like my wife, like she might, you know, and me where I could just take it with a grain of salt and be like, whatever.
I like to see where everybody heads at. Because I have a perception on myself, but other people's perceptions is what becomes reality, really. Because like how they view you is like how they view you. You're not
the key people. That only the key people is who you should be caring. You know, you don't care about no damn.
If you're secure about yourself and know who you are, you can hear other people's comments based on you, and still, But it also could give you like an idea of what you could still work on.
So it basically is it's a way of fueling you and also getting some feedback. That's what you kind of was taking the negative aspect of it.
Right. You know, the Brooklyn came out. I just want
I already know
everybody.
And I'm glad. You know, I wouldn't even think to ask something. You know, I'm glad you brought that up because again, it's. I mean, that's a big part of that. Like how to deal with. You know, we talk about social media and everything for the kids is stay off of it here and there, but people still gonna comment on you. And I'm glad that you put that out there just for you know, other parents that may have to deal with because you are, like you said, you are out there for the world to comment on, to praise, to knock down, because we all about knocking somebody down more so than building somebody up in this world. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. So anyway, let me get some of these questions that are coming in, man. We hot, you know. Russ says, how did you get recruited if you were struggling switch hitting? What was your strength to get recruited?
Personality and showing off, and my other strengths that I had, really. Not worrying much about what they were saying about my left side and knowing that I needed to work on it. Now, if I would have been oblivious to the fact that I wasn't hitting on my left side as well as my right, or wasn't doing something as good and just like I'm straight, it wouldn't have worked because I wouldn't have been working on it. But they see like progression.
All right.
If I didn't have any progression, I don't think it would have been as much.
Okay. Let me just acknowledge some of these people that's coming in, man. We got people from all. We got I don't even know if they still on, but we got Cliff out in ATL, Condi, South Carolina. Eric was good. Maurice Mayette, I'm guessing that's y'all people. DD, what's up? Carolina in the house. Shay was good. Josh was good. Fernando Looney, what's up, baby? Ex Big Leaguer. Hector was good. Alex Weiss, what's up? Steve was good. Jarvis was good. Mitch Molesky, ex Big Leaguer, what up? AD was good. Humphrey was good. Florida in the house. Carl, what's up? Carl Nichols in the house. Muzzy Jackson said, what's up, D? What's up, man?
That's his financial advisor.
What up, Muzz is my minor league director way back in the day.
Yes,
Yeah, Muzzy's my guy. So yeah, Muzzy's good people, man. Muzzy's good people.
That's what I was so concerned with, getting good people around him. So Naseem he was my first baby. He was my baby doll. So he's a pretty boy and he likes to shop. So when I tell him to stop, I got Muzzy.
Hey, Muzzy, when I tell you he used to go to bat for me with those Royals, man, and he was the only one, speaking to the mom, right? My mother was like one of those, like, yo, you treating my baby like this, was one of them, I had to call in front of. I'm like, Mom, you can't call. This ain't the high school. You can't call in front of. Yo, moms was like that. So Muzz can tell you about my moms and stuff, but Muzzy good. I've known Muzz since I was 16, 17 years old. Muzz is good people, man. So yeah, you in good hands, man. With that, I know he's been doing that financial thing for 15 plus years now. So good for you, man. Shout out to Muzzy, man. And we got more. I'm gonna get back to everybody else, Tim and Darlene and Cav and Tanisha and we big, we big. You a hit out here, man. You a hit out here on these streets out here. They want to know. They want to get some of that good talk over there. They want to find out what it takes. So let me get some of these other questions coming in, and I kind of get back to the draft, because I want to hear draft night. I want to hear that call, what it took. You know what I'm saying? And how did you feel? So let me get here. Tanisha said, what are some of the challenges you see in the minor leagues that you or your teammates face?
I would say the biggest thing that's a challenge for me, I'm not going to speak on my teammates, but for me, it's like going from high school to professional baseball and being on your own. It's like you got to figure, like that first year, that's your year, like to figure out everything. Like you have to. Like if you slack, it's going to catch up to you. You got to find your routine. You got to find the player you are. You're finding the person you're going to become, the man who you're going to become. You just figuring out like your fake friends, real family, all that. So it's like that's the year where it's like, all right, you got to settle in. This, like, you got to settle in for this one. And then now I think this year too, that's the year where I like really am finding who I'm becoming and what I'm going to be.
We got, we're going to get in this pro side, because I want to,
nothing about baseball. Like, it's the same game we've been playing since we were young. Now it's life with baseball.
I love it, man. I'm let me get somebody. I just want to make sure I get the questions in before we get to the I had a question about with the parents. I kind of overlooked it. I'm sorry, my bad. It was a good question about Sorry about this. I had it up, but all right. Well, I had to pull it. There's a lot of comments coming in. But okay. All right. Can you ask the parents how to gauge when to push and when to pull back and just support?
You want to answer that one?
It depends on what level you are. Just I don't know. It depends on what level you are. I kind of tell parents, let the kids have fun, and the kid really has to figure it out. You are the parent, so you are their support, and it's a touchy situation for everybody. It's just different.
It's different.
It's so many different ways and so many different people, player positions, and
little bro.
Yeah, they go little bro. But yeah, just, support your kids, enjoy the moment. Remember, it's just a game. I see a lot of parents taking it way too serious, where it's things that they can't control, and you can't make your kid do or be something, who you want them to be. They have to become who they're going to become. What happened in your past, is your past. I don't get in my feelings for not becoming an MLB player, even though they may have been aspirations at one time. But guess what? I get to look through this window now and see the evolution of that passion, and it manifested in a whole different way, which everything isn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I think, especially as parents, your kid. I am going to interact with Nas differently than I do Jay. That's what I'm going to tell you. We have a Nas and we have a Jay. So
I love it.
I can push him in a different way than his brother. And also, and I tell parents all the time, like, you go to work every day. Do you want your boss standing there beating you over the head, yelling at you, screaming at you? Like, how can a kid hit a fastball coming in 2.2 seconds when you're screaming and hollering in his ear behind the plate? So like, sometimes you have to ask your kid. I think I posted this in the group. Ask your kid, how does he feel? What do you believe mom and dad can do to help you? It's not just what we think we're supposed to do. They're a completely separate being. They're a completely separate entity. And the thing they need may not be what you think you're given. I always tell him, if I tell you I'm thirsty and you bring me an apple, you didn't really help me. You thought you helped me, but you ain't helped me because I'm still thirsty. I don't want that apple.
Right.
So sometimes ask your kids, what can I do to support you? What can I do to help you? And I think they'll give you the answers to that question. They'll, like my husband said, they will ask, hey, mom, dad, can you throw me, in the cage? They ask me, and I'm like, dude, I'm not getting in there soft tossing anymore. When you were little, I might have thrown the ball, but now I need my eye. But they will come to you. They will be comfortable with talking to you. And you have to establish that rapport with your kid, I think, from jump. And they'll be able to tell you, hey, I need a push here. Hey, I need you to help me in this way, mom or dad. So it's really the dynamic of the family, the dynamic of the relationship between the parents. And we all know at a certain age, kids are just like, you just sometimes want to give them back where they came from. We're all parents, we know. Sometimes, especially at that 12, 13, 14, puberty hits, they just out of their minds. You might just have to let them stop for a minute before you kill them. And then come back and pick it back up. So it's just really the situation and being aware of your kid and what they need.
My 12-year-old in the background listening and smiling. Yeah. You might as well come and join the whatever too. DeAndre says, what year did you make varsity? What year did you start?
Freshman year.
I heard that. Yeah, I mean, like, we ain't playing with kids out here. He already knew. He talking about he freshman year hit 480 or something. Again, I just want you to understand from a high school standpoint. If you out here, I believe now he in Atlanta playing top lots, whatever. But I believe if you're trying to be on a high level, you need to be hitting 4 bills or more and 400 or more in high school out here too. If you're trying to really do so, you gotta beat and be number one in this damn area that you are in. If you talking about hitting 300 and you D1 this, D1 that, you ain't mastering the location, where you at. some ain't right. You know what I mean? You need a little bit more work. That's just me personally. So, but he hit out the gate. 14, 15 years old, him 480 on him. Okay, that's when you make a statement out there, like who you are. Sure. Pastor, how much of a plus is switch hitting really?
For what?
For you. Is it a plus to your game?
Like, was it a plus for the draft or like a plus to just the game?
Yeah, I think how much of a plus does switch hitting really mean? Like overall draft, in the game, adding that to your game. You know what I'm saying? How much of it was a plus? That's what I'm thinking. They, you know what I mean?
Honestly, that's a hard question because I don't know. Switch hitting helps a lot now because like obviously the pitchers got a lot better and it's easy for me to see like to get pitch recognition. Obviously, I can't say that word.
Recognition.
Yeah, I can't say that. But it's easier for that in that aspect. But overall, I think if I would have stayed righty my whole like career throughout high school and going in, it would have been like I would have got a lot better on the right side. So then I would have eventually been able to hit that slider, that curveball, and it wouldn't have been a question about my bat. But because I didn't care and I just wanted to start switch hitting because that's what I wanted to do. I want to be a switch hitter. Like I want to be like Jose Reyes. So I want to switch hit. So I just didn't care. But I guess it helps. It helps. But that's the question. Like,
let me ask you this. Let me pick it back off of that. Do you think you get drafted where you get drafted if you wasn't a switch hitter?
That's hard because maybe I got drafted by the Marlins because they see potential in me being a player that they had like Jose Reyes or Lindor, but maybe not if I'm just a straight righty and I'm still hitting 480 every year doing 500. But everybody hits righty. Like I always want to be somebody to stand out.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't know. That's a question. Like I don't want to find out.
I mean that's what's up, man. Because again, I go back to my little stories and shout out to my boy Henry. He see, listening in. That's my guy, man. So got a good player, got a good kid right here, Henry. All right, and y'all got a good dude, man. Shout out to my boy Henry, man. Yeah, so we got a lot of connections. Muzzy, Henry, like you know what I'm saying? This baseball world, y'all see this is a small world. It's very. I've known both of those dudes.
It's smaller among African Americans because
yes.
We end up all kind of knowing each other or knowing someone that knows someone. Those 6 degrees of separation is really 3 in our community.
No doubt, you are absolutely correct. All right, because I had no idea that the agent and Muzzy, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'll finish. Sorry, I'm gonna go out here and get the little ones to batting practice and all that.
Nigga, I appreciate you, my dude. All right, man. I'll meet you. I can't wait to meet y'all in person one of these days. You know what I'm saying? Let me go. We got the White says he has to deal with coaches trying to take the flair out of his game, meaning that he plays too flashy.
Literally just coming from instructs, me and my teammates talk about this all the time because they're not used to sometimes because they couldn't do it, it's not right. So they don't understand and they don't know how to coach you because they don't get it.
So no. Let me ask you this: when you say, I don't want to get you in trouble, but Lord,
that's how I'm trying to.
So when you say they, who? Hey, I don't want. Let me put it. I already know who they is, and we talk behind the scenes. But you just keep balling the way you ball, man. Like they liked you for a reason to draft you where they drafted you. So you just keep doing your thing. I'm thinking we on the same page, man.
Yeah, I talked to DJ about that. Right before I came home, he was like, "We drafted you for a reason. Do what you do. You're a man now. This is your career. Like you got to do what you got to do. What they say, yeah, you be coachable, but like you do what you got to do. Like, and he said that he's like man to man, like you do what you got to do."
And he flossing on y'all, right? He flossing on y'all. So when he say DJ, all right, he flossing on y'all a little bit, right? Because I know who DJ is, but Can you go back and tell these people who DJ is?
Derek Jeter.
Right. We flossing on y'all. You know what I'm saying? He just said that real cool, calm. Yeah, well, DJ told me, you know what I'm saying? He talking about the owner of the team and, you know, Yankees star Derek Jeter. All right, you know, tell my boy G. I said, what's up, man? So, but yeah, man. So it's these I love this. Wish you the best, Nas. This is just the beginning. Keep getting after it, Nas. All right, no doubt. We got Lakeisha says, what was the best advice that your parents gave you?
It was a lot. It's different situations, I guess, but the biggest thing for me is like my mom teaching me to be a stand-up guy and like say what's on my mind and know when to pick and choose your battles, really, because that's something we go through every day, especially being black in baseball. You really got to choose your battles, and you know, y'all know like how it is, but that's really one of the biggest things because that's life, and that could be a job, that could be the next level of you getting promoted, that could be you getting demoted, released, traded. So it's really like you just gotta pick and choose your battles, but you still can't like you can't bend over for anybody too. Neither like this is a business, like this is you. Like most of these coaches, they work for you technically, but still want to be respectful and know like this is an organization that's being built around players and coaches. So it's like a teamwork thing. So you gotta work together and just pick and choose. Like that's the biggest thing I've realized. I took with me.
Okay. Gosh, I'm gonna get into the pro stuff. How many teams were interested for the MLB? How important is this lifting?
I mean, to be honest, the Marlins, they didn't even come to the house.
They did.
They didn't even come to the house.
Come to the house.
It was only two teams that didn't come to the house. It was Miami and the Angels.
The Angels did come. No, okay.
The Angels.
So almost all of the teams came to the house, and then there was one where they had. I want to say it was almost like speed dating. They had a bunch of teams,
but they still ended up coming to the house.
And,
so it was only the Angels I didn't talk to.
R.I.P. to Charles. He was with the Cardinals. He passed away. I mean,
okay.
And he facilitated that where we went to the Team Elite facility. But so every team actually, except for the two, like he said, came to the house to interview him. So I had all those people in my house.
Yeah.
So let me just get some of these comments, last minute comments that have come in. All right, here we go. What advice would you give an upcoming athlete?
Have fun and learn yourself as fast as possible. Like learn who you are, what you want to be. It's not going to be right away, but actually start paying attention to that earlier. So you already have like a goal to reach, because you making goals of just like being a big leaguer, a pro athlete, a Hall of Famer is good and all, but how are you going to get there? Like, what are you going to do to get there? Like, you got to have goals on goals. Like, you can't just have one big goal and no objective, like, of how you're going to reach that goal or maintain it.
Preach. Go ahead, young man. You know what I'm saying? It is small because Nezzy said Cedric Mullins are, you know, that's his dad, you know. All right, I gotta get set on it, boys. You always on it. Let me put your son on it. He next. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get your son on here, man. And you know, shoot, give some of this big league love over here, man. All right. So, but it is a small world. Ellis says, what kind of showcases you played in?
When I was younger, like starting off, I'll do a couple like small college showcases. Really, those are showcases, like, we didn't really know much about them. We just, like, saw they were showcases in colleges. So we attended them to do some. I looked at them like practice, honestly. Like, just getting ground balls and extra reps, learning how to communicate with people that I didn't know, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. So it's just like, but
the PG showcase.
PG, yeah, for the most part. But I didn't really like the PG showcases.
Now you tell us after we spent the money.
I mean, it was cool to do them because like all my friends were doing it, but and the traveling, but it was really like
he did junior nationals, you did nationals,
That's it.
And that's
like,
it.
the only big
PG,
ones.
Yeah, and then
Baseball Factory.
All American. Yeah, we did one. Don't you do it?
That's
So you didn't chase all the traveling around the world and all of that. You went to how many? You said
those 3. Well, he did do Tournament of Stars. Remember, in North Carolina.
That's not really a showcase.
It is a showcase. It's a showcase for
that's
the upper
That's
echelon.
A tryout.
Yeah,
it's a tryout.
Showcase.
I don't consider that a showcase. Like, when I think of showcase, I think of you fielding a ground ball and trying to throw it as hard as you can. Like, I didn't like that. I like to play. Like, showcase don't really show much, but like showcases show what you could be, what you could be. But I think games, like when you playing the games, that's what really impresses me. Like, you could go Blaze Jordan, like, what's his name? Blaze Alexander. I follow him. We cool. But homeboy took like 8 steps before he threw that 100-mile-per-hour across the diamond. Like,
I know what you're saying.
You're not doing that. You're not doing that. Because if you do that, I'm safe and I'm going to second while you still taking those extra 4 steps.
So it's a different perspective. The showcase is, the projection part of the game and what people will see and what they are going to assume you'll become. And, the game is where you're actually showing.
Yeah, for me, I didn't like showcases, though. I didn't like them.
I love it.
I didn't like.
I wish he would have told me that before we.
I mean, he probably feeling like he got to, he got to do what he got to do.
I feel like you need to do them, like, most definitely, like, to get yourself in situations, like, to better yourself and get your name out there. You're gonna have to do them eventually, like some kind of showcase. But I didn't like them personally. I am, but I felt I wasn't a showcase player. I felt my showcase is in the game. Because like these kids going up there hitting bombs, throwing this hard, looking this smooth, running this fast, but they running this fast, get on the bases and can't make a turn. They throwing the ball, don't know where it's going. Like, I was never really impressed by like athletes and like that's why I would call them showcase players. Showcase players. That was some like my opinion on showcases. I don't like them.
My boy Junior Spivey said Nas is the real deal. All right.
Oh, I got a story with Junior.
Don't tell him, Junior. Don't tell any stories.
My boy Spivey over there, man. So anyway, Tim, shout out to my boy Spivey, man. My boy Spivey said best young infielder that I've ever seen. Woo! Spivey put it on you like that.
We saw Spivey, Marquise Grissom Sr., Lou Collier, Martin Freeman, Jerry Manuel. He's like the smoothest OG. That whole breakthrough series, those men showed him who he can become. And I always believe the representation. You cannot have your son believe necessarily that he can get there if he never sees someone that looks like him. We have to be mirror images for each other.
Exactly.
And, Nassim, we talk about this all the time. When you get to a certain level, it's not about crabs in the barrel. We're not pulling each other back down. We're trying to pull each other up. And, you have to continue to build in community. We can't wait for other people to do it for us. We got to do it for each other.
Well, great. That's well said. I know they doing their thing over there. Shout out to my boy Jerry Manuel and them boys out there, man. Lou, Lou been on the show 2 times. Yeah, that's good. This good. It's family over there, man. But shout out to my boy Spy. He don't never come on. I'm gonna try and get him on whatever. You come on here now. He talking about here and there. Probably be missing the action, boy.
That's who he called when he had that game with 3 errors. He called Junior, not me and Dad.
Okay. Yeah, Spivey's the man. That's my dude, man. 20 years deep at least. But let me go here. So now I'm gonna get into. I'm getting everybody they love, but I want to hear these drive time stories, man. So, here it is. We stopped there 30 minutes ago. But I wanted to get to this drive, and I promise I'm gonna have y'all too long, man. I appreciate y'all time, man. So, here it is. Now it's drive time, man. Now you get picked where and by who, because you said they ain't even come to the crib. So you get picked where and by whom?
I got picked the third pick.
Second round, 46th pick.
It's the second round, but like second pick. I think I was like
4th.
I think I was the 4th pick in the second round.
Yeah.
and 46
overall.
by the Marlins.
46 overall in the country, man. So draft day, you know, things is different nowadays. You know, back in the day, you know, we had to go to school and it wasn't on TV and you find your name on it. It was a phone call. You go back to class. You know what I'm saying? So how did you celebrate, you know, what you was doing? When did you kind of realize like, yo, it's a realization, man. I'm here. You know what I mean?
It wasn't one until like the phone hit, like the call hit, because we might have went a little bit OD. We might have went a little bit crazy with the people that were there.
It was all family.
It was all family, but it was like it was so many different vibes and energies, and like I said, I pick up on that, and it's just like I could feel people like scared for me, like nervous, like what if it don't happen? But the whole day I was with family, friends, that whole day. Like there was not one moment where I was by myself. Not one moment.
We went to the mall.
We went to the mall, went shopping, had the cameras out, friends, and then by the time like I sit down and realize like it's about to happen, we headed to the spot to watch the draft. And we were there all night. It was just like it was like if you look at my Instagram, it was like a solid 80 people there.
Nice.
Pre-COVID.
It was but before it was what? How long did it take? Like 4 hours? Before
it was long.
It was 4 hours of just sitting there waiting.
You don't know the parents that are on the cusp of, you know, experiencing that. Again, that's the whole. You just kind of have to let go and almost give up that control because you have no clue what's going to happen. And the worst
feeling was sitting there, and every single pick, people draft picks coming on. Picks. I was like, bro, I'm not going here. I'm like, calm down. Stop making it awkward. People making it awkward. I was like, bro, chill. And my like, bro, you know when you gonna get called, bro? Like,
but you don't know.
I'm like, bro, leave me alone. Like, I had to go like to the back. I was like,
yeah.
And then when they called, it was like, I was like, Elvin and Henri called me. I was like, stop playing with me, bro. Like, don't even tell me this to get my hopes up, because I'm gonna fight y'all if it don't happen. Like, it's on sight. So I was like, stop playing. Then we all stood up, and it was like. It was, I didn't even have a chance to cry. Like,
I didn't even get a chance to hug my son.
They weren't even the first ones around me. It was it was a swarm. I was literally standing up on the chair in the middle, and then I didn't even see it, like, because I was looking for it, because something had happened. The MLB network messed up or something.
It went to a game or something.
Yeah, it switched.
And
so then we were looking at it was on the
it
came up like it came up with it was saying like they was about to make the selection for the Marlins, then it just like disappeared. And then everybody like looked on the bottom because it showed a pick. So I was looking and I just hear everybody screaming. I'm like, hold on, y'all know I'm a little slow. I'm still looking. I'm still looking on the screen. I was like, I'm still looking on the screen. I can't, like, what y'all screaming for? And then I was like, oh. And then it was just like everybody pushing me. And the thing that I will never forget is how fast my phone broke. Yeah. My phone and my Apple Watch, it was like zzz, 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 and it froze. But like the messages were still coming in. Everything was coming in. And a post, it was like 1,000 likes in like 5 minutes.
It was crazy. It's something that crazy. It was surreal. And even to this day, a year and a little change after, it's still like, my goodness. All the way kids from the projects in Brooklyn and the Bronx, and him being born in the Bronx and us moving here, and just, you have your first child and you never know where their path is going to lead them to, and everything you've done, the sacrifices, the trials and tribulations, keeping the family together, trying to make sure he stayed balanced, just life. And then that happens and all of your hard work and your dreams are coming to fruition. It's just like, man, I can't believe this. What a blessing. So had, people from home came down, my family came down, my girlfriends, his aunties, my friends from high school, everybody, he has a support system. And that's something parents, you have to have a support system. And it's not necessarily only people that you born into a family, but the family that you really trust, that you bring along in a journey, during this. And just making sure, like you said, energy, having that and positive energy around him and to uplift him and to hold you as a family. That night was crazy. It was crazy. And the people, shout out to friends in Tequila because they were about to close.
They were about to close on it. That was the worst.
It was a brother in there with dreads, and he was like, "Sister, I got you."
And Taina was working. One of my friends.
Just let it happen. And because we told everybody, there's a possibility you don't know if he's going to go first round, second round, 50 round, 40 round. You don't know.
And we were all about to leave, and then Elvin called me I was talking to him. I was like, "Yeah, let's just go." I was like, that was my biggest fear. I was like,
everybody's there. You don't.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear. I was like, I don't know if I want to have a draft party. Maybe we could do this intimate with family, people. And then I was like, you know what, forget it. I was like, forget it.
I told everyone this is a celebration, regardless of the outcome. We have hustled.
It wasn't for me. I wasn't going for none of that.
But we told people beforehand that there's a possibility that he won't get drafted day one. I want people to know that. But coming here, you're coming here to show him love, and you're coming here to show him support. So everybody came out there was about love for Nassim, and like I said, the universe and God aligned, and. Where else should a shortstop be that was born in the Bronx but under the tutelage of Derek Jeter? Come on.
I thought the Yankee thing. I didn't know the BX thing. I saw you book. But I thought the shortstop thing, and I was just like, man, you're right.
Yeah.
For him to take you so high, and you got the man. You know what I'm saying?
I had a great workout with Miami, and it took me maybe 5 weeks after I was there to realize that. When they started showing me my videos and everything, and Derek's reactions and the way he was interacting with me.
He's a cool dude.
When I met DJ, it was I was like, it's DJ. I wasn't thinking too much. And when he called me over to talk to me, then I was like, oh that's DJ.
Yo, that's so. Now I'm going to kind of get into that pro side. So now that high life and high fiving and family and negotiations and all of that is over now. All right. Now it's like you said, it's the real deal now. All right. So how was that? Did you sign right away and when you signed, where did you head? Where did you go?
I was in Miami when I signed.
Okay, when you signed in Miami, did you go straight from Miami over to right up the block, West Palm?
So I was already practicing and playing. So I was practicing in GCL, and then they flew them in, and they drove me up to Miami, and it was that was big league. Everybody knew who I was when I got there. It was people
we were
waiting
in Gina's personal suite. I was like, yeah mama done came up.
They put us on They put us on the jumbo screen. I had these older women asking me for pictures, this and that. I was in front of my moms. I was oh, wow.
Mom was like, all right, you little cooler. All right, cooler. You know what I'm saying?
Can't talk with my kid.
It was
right.
I got to work out. That's why I got to meet Curtis Granderson. Cool dude. Yeah, Jorge.
Abasada was there too. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was just that whole thing was cool.
All right. So, all right. Well, so you already had a taste of the GCL, and then they brought you to Miami?
Yeah.
So you didn't go to Miami first and then go to the reality over there. Okay, all right. That's how they did me. But anyway, so you already had a taste of the reality under the GCL over the Gulf Coast League. All right. And how was it being perceived? Because now you a high round guy, and what do they call those high round guys?
Caballos.
Caballos?
Caballos.
Okay. So they don't. I was thinking something different. They used to call us bonus babies.
They be
they don't call you bonus babies no more. They call you no bonus babies no more. They don't say
Americans, but the Latins call us caballos.
Okay. Right. I said you down in GCL. They ain't probably 90% of them Venezuelan, right? Yeah. So
Dominican that can't speak Spanish.
Well, they be on you hard, huh? They be on you hard about that or no? Or you don't care?
I'll be like, bro, what are you saying? I'll be like, I'm American. I don't know it yet.
Wow. So all right. So, but I when you first get done, I love to hear people's stories when they first sign and you first kind of how was that feeling when you are button up that Marlins uniform about to walk on the field for the first time as a professional ball player? What's that feeling like? Were you overwhelmed? Were you just ready to get to work? Was it yo, that dude is nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what was your feelings when you go to the ballpark, you button up and you go out there for your first day of practice? What was your feeling?
Marlins practice, or like when I signed, or like GCL?
Well, what do you mean by your Marlins? I want to know the first time you played as a professional. You know what I'm saying?
I worked out with the big league team before their game.
Right. Okay. And you was major league that day. You know what I'm saying? For those 2 hours, you was major league that day, right? I'm talking about that, and I know that. Okay, that feeling. I know that's a strong feeling. I want to kind of go back to the GCL because
being treated like a big leaguer down to GCL. That feeling.
That reality. The reality is like, yo, I'm in the farm. I'm on the grind. I got the taste of what I'm shooting for, but now the reality is now I gotta get the
that feeling went from I was just treated as a king to now I'm being treated as an upcoming king. That's how I kind of took it, because I didn't want to say I was treated like amazingly, put on a high pedestal, this and that, and then now I'm starting over, because there's no such thing as starting over. You're going to be the same. It's just now it's a different level to it. You got out the pond and now you get into the ocean. So it's like now you're on your way to the big spot. So I'm looking at it like it's grind time. Just same mentality I had in high school. Like I'm not comfortable. I'm not complacent here. Like I don't want to be here. Like I want.
All right. So how many ball players? So for my listeners, and I get back to the questions, parents, I just want to have get an idea of what it is when you go pro, especially at that level. How many players was that down in the GCL at that time?
Like 60, 65.
65 players, all right, at the GCL level.
Like 15.
You said what?
They're like 15 shortstops.
So I want you guys to understand, right? My man go pro. All right. You said what, Tina? You said what?
Stop, my baby.
Right. I got you. But I love what he said, though. I love what he said. So, because that was a reality check, I think, for everybody to be like, damn, all these damn dudes. Like, yo, it's mad people here. Right? So, and that's just one level. It's at the GCL rookie ball level. There's 65 players at that level. He ain't talking about the other levels of A ball, which is 3 or 4 levels of A ball, and then AA and AAA. He's saying right there, the GCL level, there are 60-something guys over there competing, 15 shortstops. So now you in the mix. You obviously, you high around, so people sizing you up. Did you feel those eyes on you? Did you enjoy that eyes on you? Did there people, talking junk or, meeting you? Like, tell me that vibe.
Definitely, it was like the first. I already saw it. The Latins would look at me and be like, why is he? This the 2.2 guy. This the second rounder. Like I could feel the eyes and everything. It was like, oh, he got a Dominican flag too. So they were testing me, and then that's when I met Mesa, and Mesa kind of like he helped me get through like that system because he spoke English and Spanish, and he like was a top prospect too. But I most definitely felt it. But I was on that same thing, like, okay, keep trying me if you want to. Like, I'm gonna take your position too. Like, you're not getting it back. You can have it when I leave. Like, that was my mentality.
Listen,
like,
and
all you want, try to copy what I do, but like, it's not me.
I just want to get to that mindset because I have my boy Bobby. You guys heard, if you listening on me, regularly, I have my boy Bobby Scales on here. Bobby's front off field coordinator with the Pirates. But when we talked about his mindset when he was playing, all right, and you hear the same thing my man is saying. That's just you should be like that anyway, but on that pro level, because essentially it is about basically it is your job and it's here today, gone tomorrow type of atmosphere. It is about, I got to take your job. It's just part of the business. I'm cool. I dap you up. I say what's up or I talk my junk or whatever, but I'm here to take your job.
Exactly. And that's what everybody's trying to do. Even the big leaguers, they got like our big league shortstop, and he knows I'm right behind him. He knows I'm coming. Like, so he's working. He's got to work because he knows I'm coming. And I know somebody else is coming. I know every year we're going to get a new shortstop, most likely. Even if it's international or a draft, we're going to get a new infielder. Let me rephrase that. So that could be my job too. That could be somebody else's job. So you always got to hustle. There's never being complacent. until you sign that $300 million contract like Mookie Betts, and then he's still not even complacent. Even though he's solidified, he's still, because that's the love of the game. And if you got that hustle, motivation, and ambition, like that's you. You're not being a role model to the kids. You're being a real model. And that's like my biggest thing. That was my one phrase I took from Pac. He said, "Don't be a role model, be a real model." It says it, right? And it says it.
My man out here giving you Tupac quotes over here. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is I promise you. Okay. My boy named Nas, brother named Jay, and he's giving you Tupac quotes at 20 years old. All right. Listen, man, it ain't stardom and understanding the game within the game, long and short term of this, man. We ain't talking no, and I know he probably listened to these Migos and all, but he giving real type lyrics and hit, you know, and I'm guessing that's the Brooklyn and the Bronx parents over there, you know, and the influence on there, keeping that 100, them real lyrics over there. Hope my daughter back here listening too. But anyway. Listen, let me get some of these questions coming in, and I appreciate y'all time. I'm gonna get y'all out of here, man. Great show, and I thank you for your time, Nas, man, and Tina. How can you be a part of those events like the Breakthrough Series or be seen to participate?
For those, this is really like you just got to keep playing, and like I guess it's the tournaments and just. You never know who's watching you. That's really what it is. Like, I didn't know much about the Breakthrough Series until I came in contact with Chip. So it's just really like, it's good. If it's for you, it's for you. Like, if it's meant for you, it's going to be meant for you. Don't try to force anything.
It's invite only.
Yeah.
So he was, again, like he said, Chip took notice of him, and it's a program, you know, trying to increase the number of African Americans in the game. So it can be someone that saw you and reach out to a scout and, you know, Dell Matthews and Kindu and those guys over there. So it's not like you can run up on them, let me get in. No, you have to, you do have to be invited. But, you know, it's about also putting yourself around the right people. And like I said, I really felt it important for him and his little brother to have mentors that look like him.
All right. D-Rob and Callie said, was it a big eye-opener competing against all the Dominicans of foreign ball players and rookie ball?
Yeah, it was cool. But for me, like I said, I look at it as just another game, another pitch, another out. Like, you just got to play a game. If you start looking at it too much, then you're going to get stuck in your head and how you going to hit, how you going to play baseball when you're thinking too much. You got to just really have a clear mind.
All right. 15 shortstops. What did he do to separate himself from the pack?
Be myself.
I mean, it's
like there's no other way, really. Like
right to the point. I love it, man.
Not trying to be something I'm not, I guess.
You like, yo, let's keep this competition going, right? That's all it was. Like, yo,
like, if you better than somebody, you better than them. If you're not, you're not. Like, you could have a better work ethic and still not be better than them, but like, you got to find a way to separate yourself.
All right. Tina, I want you to answer this one. Not sure if this question has been asked, but as a player, do you feel like a young prospect has to or needs to go through a perfect game?
We get this question all the time.
Not young.
Not young. I guess I think I wrote it on something else, and my husband did too. 12 and under, man, just let them kids have
You gotta
fun.
know, also be realistic with your stuff. Like, if you know you're a good, like, this generation is like different now. Like, from when I was in high school.
Dude, you were just in high school.
I know, but like, these freshmen are huge, and they know, like, they
Mom. Yeah.
know you're good, and you're obviously better than the kids at your age. Like, obviously doing a lot more than them, showing more tools. You could start your showcasing earlier, like, but if you know you got a little more time to develop, give it some time, because you don't want to go out there and just like
and waste your parents
Exactly.
$700 and you look like
you gotta
use that gauge. I
just gauge it.
I have a love-hate relationship with PG.
But if you got the money, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're afforded the opportunity to do it and your family can, afford it, it's memories, it's experiences. Kids will take that with them forever. Is it necessary to go to the showcases? It's not necessary. No. I think the tournaments, some of the bigger tournaments, are going to probably put more eyes on your kids, and you'll want to find organizations that will enter those type of tournaments. The big one we kept talking about was Jupiter. Like that one, when we first went there,
was cool.
It was crazy. My husband and I were like, overwhelmed because of the amount of scouts there, the financial people there. That's a really big showcase, but that's when they're older. 12 and under, man, Cooperstown should be the biggest thing you're thinking about in that age. Just going to Cooperstown and having that experience.
Tournaments, getting better.
Playing tournaments, having fun with your friends. They're still thinking about who's bringing what snack after
if you don't have team practices at 3 days a week, you need
why are you there?
Team.
Some of the other teams, and I'm not going to say names, but they want to have their kids on these big teams
and
where
they don't even practice.
They don't practice. How is your kid?
How you going to get better?
If they don't, they just
you can't practice by yourself all the time because this is a team game.
Yeah.
So go do private training and then go expect to play with your teammates and know what their tendencies are.
Who they are. But Pete, again, I say, if you do a tournament, if you do a showcase, maybe at the age of 13, 14, to gauge where your kid is, to see how they stand up against the national rankings and all of that stuff, just to give yourself the opportunity. And also, I think what we did with him, we did take him to like Alabama State. We let him pick 3 college showcases before PG so he could familiarize yourself with the process. So your kid can go there. We paid $150 and it was in front of that was actually his first one. We went to Alabama State. I think it was $150. He went, he got a full ride offer on the spot. Like, come on. That's $150.
Like people think perfect game is really not for colleges.
It's not.
It's for the draft. So why are you trying to make sons of these showcases at such a young age when they got still 3 more, 4 more years before they even think about draft? And you think like PG's for college, there'll be some college coaches there, but not the ones that are going to give you the offer. You need to go to them, or they'll come to your high school. Perfect games. The college scouts are there. They're there for the best of the best, and they're only handing out maybe 1 scholarship. But if you go to their college, it's different.
Yeah, and you got to put in the work. And I said I have a love-hate relationship because PG did him with Perfect Game All-American. That was a great experience.
Perfect Game really just put my name on the map, but it didn't.
I didn't even committed.
I committed. Yeah, I committed before I even knew about Perfect Game.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow.
Because they came to my game.
Yeah.
So listen. So they just talking, but y'all just got another $1 million. If I had a Funk Flex blow, you know what I'm saying, bonds being put on they just hip y'all. So if you 13, 14, all right, and you feel like you're on that level, maybe. But
I said, get that college stuff out the way, then you can focus on what you got to focus on.
And go there. The parents, they talk about the recruiting.
If you're not committed or getting offers, there's no reason to go to Perfect Game.
Because that's what I'm saying. The parents have it the opposite. The parents think they got to go there to get.
You got to play, and you go to their showcases and stand out.
Now, again, we want to preface all of that with everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
For some people, it works out, but you have to kind of know your kid
and what they're capable of.
I'm not going to say, my son is D1 when he's necessarily not. And there's nothing wrong with that. JUCO, D1, NAIA. It's school, man. It's school. That's where you're trying to get your kid to go. And if they really want to play ball, there's 50 million colleges around that offer this. But people get caught up into the big names and I want my son to go here and he wants to go here and trying to impress, doing it for the gram. You have to be realistic and you have to know the schools in your area, the schools that, have a need. Go out there, reach out to them. It's hard now with COVID, but go to those camps. And even some of those camps can be money grabs, but you got to stand out. Make sure, and a big thing that I always tell him and his brother, the kid has to be articulate. The kid has to learn how to, cap for themselves. We're raising young men. We're raising young Black men. They have to be able to stand there and look them in the eye, and I am Nas Nunez, and this is what I'm looking to do, and be able to converse with these people. So that was a big thing for me. And he tell you, I'm like, read a book, dude. Like, come on, son, read a book. You got to get your vocabulary up. You have to be able to communicate. And going to those showcases with the coaches, you're giving your sons that opportunity also. You're not really talking to anybody at perfect game. Darren Sutton, if he gets you an interview, but you're getting there with the actual faculty members and the staff of the baseball organization of the school. Take your kid there.
Listen, we don't talk the whole lot, and we ain't finished, but
we getting tired.
All right, I'm gonna get you out of here. I just understand this. The last 10, 15 minutes they just hit me right there is worth the whole hour and something that I done dragged them and had them on here. For y'all parents over here for this perfect game stuff, like, yo, both of them just hip y'all to this. And I just want to I'll end it. Trust me, I appreciate y'all, man. I know y'all been on this for a long time, and I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna end this for y'all. But these last 10, 15 minutes was worth everything. I kind of hip you to everything you need to know, especially for the up-and-coming seniors, high schoolers. All right. Listen, I'm gonna have y'all finish this out. I know you gave us a bunch of nuggets, but Nas, man, if you could kind of give us a message. All right. I know you kind of said for a young player, but finish it out for that. I'm a 15, 16-year-old. I know you already said this, but I had dreams and aspirations to be that next Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what do I do? All right, what kind of advice will you have, for me?
Live your life. Just keep playing the game that you love. You play baseball for a reason. Don't forget that reason. I think a lot of times people forget that reason and get distracted from reasons why other people are doing it. Everybody has a reason why they play baseball, and if that's what motivates you to continue to play baseball, stick with that. Don't lose it. Don't lose the love for the game and the reason why you love it. I think a lot of people get sidetracked when you start hearing about money or college or getting to that next level. Girls, stuff like that. It's like don't get distracted.
Tina, please, for coming from the mom and the parent side, please.
I would say, for me, my biggest thing, again, is balance. For the young players and for the parents, pour into your kid. Yes, we did a lot of baseball. We were on the road all the time, but we also would go see The Lion King. We would also, as a family, have family movie night. We played Monopoly. We pushed him and his brother, go out and play. Go shoot hoops with your friends. Go be a kid. Be a kid. I think we were blessed, like I said, because we didn't really think about somebody has to be. I haven't made any more collard greens. No.
You put that one up there on purpose.
So, I think it's just balance in life. He knows I'm like, hey, Nas, go hang out at the mall with your friends. Everything doesn't have to be baseball. Keep that in your mind that is your goal. But being a well-rounded person will help you in whatever aspect of life.
Because baseball is not forever.
It's not forever. And it's important. Mom, dad, and baby brother, this family unit is important. When you create your own family is going to be important. Who you are as a man. I tell him all the time, a real man can stand alone, but as long as your father and I are here, you'll never have to. So building that foundation and working on it as a parent, I think that helps your kid know that you have their back regardless. So Nassim, do we always get along and do we always see eye to eye? No, because we act alike and he's, gregarious and loud and social, and so am I, and we sometimes butt heads, but this is my little homie. This is my road dog, my best friend. And he knows no matter what he does, mom and dad are here. And he's talking about the comment. But he knows that. So even when he's doing things that he knows he shouldn't be doing, he can come to us. And I think that goes into also the confidence kids have when they're playing sports. He's not going to say, well, oh my God, if I don't hit this, mom and dad's going to kill me. Nah, we're going to probably crack on him because I'm the first one. When he dropped the ball, I'm like, yo, you suck. And we laugh about it. It's not that serious. So you know, building that from when your child is first born, and then you seeing them become athletes and you're seeing them become young men, just reminding them that you are always their number one cheerleader, their number one support system. And the kids, you just go out there when they're younger, have fun. Don't even, I mean, you can think about the draft. Everybody's like, I'm going to be in the MLB. I wanted to be an ice skater like Debbie Thomas. That didn't work out. But everybody has these big goals. But just remind them that it's fun. And then when you see that spark in them, don't kill the spark. Don't kill it overthinking it, parents. Let them be kids. We talk about, oh, we used to play and all that when we were kids. Let them be kids. Let them be kids. That's my biggest thing. I wanted my sons to be kids. I wanted them to look back and say, I had a good childhood.
And I'm going to end on that. Real talk, Mom. I appreciate that info. Listen, beautiful family, man. Nas, man. I'll be in contact with you, man. You got a bright future, my dude. Stay. I mean, you get to talk about this COVID stuff, man, but you just keep working, man, and everything's gonna work itself out, man, with this COVID stuff, man.
Kill him. Either the Rona gonna kill him or his mama's gonna kill him. He need to go back and play some baseball.
He be crying when I leave next week.
Are they? They're not even doing no winter stuff, anything like that for y'all? Is it just?
I'm gonna go down there and work out. Just to stay around, get back into the routine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, keep working, man. Just man, they bringing them dudes up young, man. So especially up there in Marlins. You had a good year this past year, man. So a lot of them big league coaches and some of my ex-coaches over there, man. So Tim Wallach is still up there. Is he a bench coach? Yeah, Wally's who else did? Who's the hitting coach up there now?
Duncan and Chichi.
Okay. Who's the minor league guy? I'm sorry, I'm asking personal questions right now. But who?
Edward Gonzalez. He played for the Yankees.
Okay, I kind of remember him. No, but anyway, listen. All right. Keep working, my dude. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to the whole family. Tina, I know my boy Miggs. He was on there. He just commented on there. I appreciate y'all taking out the time, spending a couple hours, man. I know it's, you could be doing a lot of things, man, but you just gave up, like I said, $1 million worth of game to parents and everybody that's listening. And they understand the mindset it takes. They understand from a family aspect, the support system, why he's where he is. The type of mindset that he has, man. It's a family thing and it's personal, man. He took it upon himself. At 14, he understood, was like, yo, I got a future in this, and I'm gonna take it upon it and run with this, man. So I salute you, my young brother. You keep doing your thing, and I'll be in contact, man. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Good luck, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. All right, my dude. I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow, 4 p.m. I'll see y'all. Peace.